Hello everyone, myself Dr. Manoj Kumar, working as an assistant professor in Department of EC at MLR Institute of Technology, Hyderabad. Today I am going to deliver a lecture talk on quantities of measurement. So basically we will try to understand what are the quantities of measurement. Quantities of measurement are physical property or phenomena that can be quantified using specific instrument and standard. So quantities of measurement are nothing but the physical properties of an object or phenomena that can be quantified that can be measured. Here quantified means to measure using a specific instrument and standards. So quantities of measurement, we have to remember like that it is nothing but the physical dimension or physical property that has to be quantified or measured in terms of some standards. What is its purpose? Purpose of quantities of measurement is that it provides a standard approach for comparing, analyzing and recording the physical property of an object. So its purpose is quite clear that we have to provide a standard that has to be used in comparing, analyzing and recording the physical properties. What are the key parameters? Key parameters are measured in standard unit like SI unit. We know that there are several units, but throughout the world we follow generally SI unit. And other, it can be also classified as base quantities or derived quantities. So classification, here we will see the classification of the quantities. So basically we have some base quantities which is also known as fundamental quantities, and we also have derived quantities which has been derived from the base quantities. So let us understand what do you mean by base quantities. Base quantities are defined by the SI standards. These are independent quantities and they are defined by the SI standards. For example, length. Length is a base quantity and it is measured in terms of meter as per SI standards. Then we have mass. We already know this is also a base quantity and it is measured in terms of kilogram. Time, second, electric current, it is measured in terms of ampere. Already we know that this. Temperature, the standard unit is Kelvin. The amount of substance in chemistry we have studied, that is measured in terms of mole. Luminous intensity, it will be measured in terms of candela. So these are some of the base quantities which is also known as fundamental quantities, and it has been defined by the SI standards. After that, apart from these base quantities, we have some derived quantities also. Derived quantities are nothing but it is the combination of base quantities. Means it has been formed using the combination of base quantities. For example, let us see velocity. What is velocity? Already we know that its unit is meter per second. But velocity in terms of base quantity, it can be written as length by time. So already we discussed that length is a base quantity and time is base quantity. But velocity will become a derived quantity because velocity is combination of base quantities. Base quantities are independent quantities, but derived quantities are the combination of base quantity. It depends on the base quantities. Let us see another example, force. Force is also a derived quantity. Pressure, this is also a derived quantities. What are the key components for the measurement? Let us see what are the key components. In instrument, device used for measurement with the help of ruler, weighing balance, we can use these devices for measurement. Unit of measurement. Already I discussed there are several units, but we are following the standard unit, that is SI unit. Measurement process, method to quantify the physical property of an object. So in measurement, basically, suppose this is an object. With the help of some scale or some reference scale, we will try to measure the dimension of this object. After measuring, we will quantify this object dimension as something 1.5 meter. So this is the key components of measurement. First, object should be brought in. Then with the help of rule, some scales, reference standards, we have to measure the dimension. After measuring, we have to quantify its physical property. So already we can see that physical quantities are compared with the predefined standards. See, always we have to measure using some standards. If someone does not follow the SI standards, that measurement will not be applicable throughout the world. Suppose here in India we follow some our own traditional unit like 1 gajar, but in USA they can't understand the meaning of 1 gajar. So we have to follow a common unit, meter, which will be applicable through worldwide. So we have to follow some standards in the measurement. So we already discussed that the importance of a standard is very important in measuring the length of any, or measuring the dimension, or doing the quantification of any object. So what are the application of quantities and measurement? First application is that it is used in the scientific and research. Nowadays we have to quantify each and everything in the experiment. So it is used in the quantifying variables in the experiments. Second application is that it is widely used in the engineering and design. It ensures precise dimension in the manufacturing. If you follow the standard rule, it will ensure the precise dimension in manufacturing. Third thing is that healthcare measurement, vital sign. Based on the measurement, we can detect the temperature, blood pressure, etc., and some other symptoms. Fourth application is that it is widely used in the environmental monitoring. We can record the atmospheric temperature, pressure, humidity, etc. And obviously in daily life, we are using the quantities of measurement for measuring the cooking, tracking speed, weight, etc. So quantities of measurement are very important, and while doing the measurement, we have to follow the standard rule, that is SI unit, in order to avoid any ambiguity.